Sick With It, a.k.a. Cleve, Uptown Finest.
And who you got with you?
Wow, this your boy Diesel out that Melph. You already know what it is.
Believe that.
So Sick With It, tell me, where were you born and raised at?
Well, to be honest, totally honest, when I was born, I was in the Florida project. My mama moved out to Florida from her grandma and moved to the Melph. From with her mama and moved to the Melph. And that was like, I was still like a toddler, though, she still was carrying me around when I got in the Melph. But I was born in that Florida project in the Ninth Ward. Believe that.
Okay. So you mentioned in your Rare Report interview that you had no other choice but to accept the gangster lifestyle. Could you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Definitely. When you speak of the streets and people say, you know, people make choices to go to the streets, it's more to it than people just done made that choice. You feel what I'm saying? Because that choice come from pressure. You know, pressure to be a man, pressure to get things done. And we was in a position where if you look at the education system at that time, man, school wasn't really for education. School was for show and flow. It wasn't for no education. You had DJs at the schools. You had prep rallies at the school. You had dice games at the school. You had card games at the school. It's all day, every day. So, you know, nobody wasn't learning. Nothing wasn't coming from our hoods, you know, making it nowhere unless they just were blessed to be so talented. And even those wasn't making it because of their connections with the hood. You know what I'm saying? So people be so quick to judge people's decisions and choices in life, not knowing where those decisions and choices come from. Feel what I'm saying? They was created from something. Every choice you make come from something. Something had to put you in that situation and won't make a choice. And people, you know, they say people are call your choice a bad choice, but they ain't got the right to say that because my choice might be a good choice to me, but a bad choice to you.
Exactly. I believe you. I feel you.
You know, your good ain't my good, your bad ain't my bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I meant by that.
Would you consider yourself a gangster now or just a man with morals?
A man with morals. Only reason I was considered a gangster was because gangster was the label that they put on guys that was in the streets and stayed loyal to the streets. So those guys was mostly gangsters. Guys that stood on morals, guys that stood on principles. Everybody that was in the streets wasn't no gangster. Gangster really like, you know, stood on business. You feel what I'm saying? So all of it is a fad though, you know what I'm saying? So as I lived, I learned and realized that, you know, that's just a word, that's just an image, and there's much more to life. I gave that title up and just be who I am, and that's a man.
Okay, let's go to a little background. As a kid, what were your ambitions and what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, to be totally honest, I had no ambitions and I ain't want to be nothing. Ain't nothing was going on that I was pursuing no football. I played football in high school, right? But I ain't never wanted to be a football player. I played basketball every day, but I ain't want to be no basketball player. I just wanted to be me, no matter how it turned out.
What kind of student were you early on? Were you active, outspoken, a class clown? How would you describe yourself in class?
I'm going to say I was a disruptor in school. I was a disruptor. I'm going to be totally honest. From the first grade, from pre-K all the way to high school, I was a disruptor because I'm going to say this that a lot of people don't know. See, I was born with a little learning disorder, you heard me? So I ain't learned like everybody else, and that caused me to make a lot of bad choices and decisions when I was a child. When I was a baby, I had a fight with the whole class when I was in elementary. It was like only a week in school and I had a fight with the whole class.
Who won?
Well, me, my sister, and one of my brothers, all of us was fighting together. You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't never hit the ground. I knew that. I ain't never hit the ground, man. I would fight. I just was swinging on everything came, man. I would fight. We were fighting about 20 students.
Okay. Were there any teachers, counselors, or mentors who left a last impression on you during those years?
I'm gonna say my one of my elementary school teachers named Miss Ross. Miss Ross, she left a lasting impression on me because she was the teacher that really ain't play with me and made me like really turn my F into a D. You feel what I'm saying? She turned my F into a D because I was all incomplete every report card. I ain't never had a good report card in elementary or junior high. High school, the best report card I had was a C, and they gave me 2 perks to get the C to play football.
How strict were your parents when it came to academics and your performance in school?
Well, I'm gonna say my father was around for not my whole, childhood. My father left one year was like, I was still in elementary. When my father left, I was like in 4th or 5th grade, but when he was there, man, when he was there, I was really like, straight. Because my father ain't playing. He taught us a lot of things about being a man. So when he left, things changed because I ain't with nobody but my mama there now. And my mama was a man woman. She really held the 5 kids down by herself. Made sure every last one of her kids had the best clothes on, the best shoes on, every holiday. I'm talking about first day of school, we got brand new book sacks, pencils. We got everything we need every year, bro. And I'm like thinking about it now, boy, my mama really like held us down on. And guess what I'm gonna say about my mama, bro? My mama never had a job. Never remember my mama having a job. I don't know what my mama did. Cause you know why? My mama was so real about whatever her life was outside the house, us not knowing, none of us never knew because when she went outside the house, she made sure we was inside the house. She was inside the house, she let us go outside the house. So we never knew what my mama was doing in the project. We didn't know who her friends was, no nothing. Because she didn't allow nobody to come to her house but our next door neighbor. She ain't had no friends like that.
So who was Poppy to y'all? Who Poppy was?
Poppy was our upstairs neighbor that stayed upstairs.
Okay, I always thought that was y'all brother, bro.
Everybody thought that was our brother because we were so close. See, our last name is Alfred and his first name is Alfred.
Okay.
So him and my brother really tied. Him and Rippa really was like real like brothers like. So he used to be coming to our house. I went to running it with him, but he the one taught me the hustle game. You feel what I'm saying?
He taught me too.
He introduced me to the, how to make money outside, how to make money, period. Because I wasn't skilled, couldn't work nowhere. I'm out of high school, I gotta do something.
Poppy got killed in the Iberville project.
No, not that Poppy. No, Poppy's still living. The one I'm talking about.
The one that's dead. Okay.
No, the one I'm talking about still living. Sean Silk, brother.
All right, I know him too.
Yeah.
What were your early interests in talents? Did you play basketball, football, or instruments? If so, can you share a little bit of that?
Well, in high school, I played in band 1 year, and I ain't even complete the band. I stayed in the band about 3 months and got out of it because I ain't like it.
What you played in the band?
I played trombone. I played trombone, so I ain't like the band thing, blowing in no thing. I was like, man, look, I quit. So I started playing football. I liked the football now. I really, really liked it playing football because football was contact. Anything with no contact, I ain't like it. So I love football. I love the little basketball too because you get to play rough, but dudes be crying so much I got away from, I was about that contact though.
How close were you with your siblings growing up? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 3 brothers and 1 sister, and all us always been close, tight knitted. Even when we moved and went our way, we always stayed tight knitted because we always gave family gatherings where all us came throughout the whole year. And we only learned that from my grandmother, Miss GHTING, God bless the dead. She always made sure all of her daughters came together all the way, giving something. I don't care, every weekend, just give a card game. I just want all y'all around each other, all y'all kids around each other so they can know who their family is, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the world got away from, you know? Just talk about it, you know? That's what we need to live in this world right now.
How often would you say you and your brothers clashed growing up?
Well, me and my younger brothers never really clashed. Now, me and Rippa them clashed, you know, a lot growing up. We stayed clashing, especially once I got older. And, you know, and I'm understanding I'm the second oldest at the same time. I'm like, I don't care nothing about that big brother stuff, man. You ain't about to do me no anything, and you ain't about to tell me no anything.
So you and Rippa clashed all the time?
Yeah, we had a couple of fights. We had one fight outside, right in front of my door. We had a fight. And, you know, we just tore it down. That's it, though. We'll fight it, then go inside and talk,
That's right. Talk
and be
about
running it. You know what I'm
brother,
saying?
Man. I feel you.
Okay, growing up, what kind of magazines did you enjoy flipping through? Like, you know, back then they had the Jets magazine, remember the Beauty of the Week?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
That's around diesel time.
Yeah, I love Beauty of the Week.
Well, to tell you the truth, that was the only magazine I really was into was the Beauty of the Week, because they had the women on there. And I was growing up like, boy, I love these. Boy, I stayed with the Beauty of the Week. I want to see who the Beauty of the Week every week.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, who would you say you looked up to growing up, whether a real person or someone you admired on TV? Who would you say was like a role model to you?
Throughout my whole life, to tell you to be honest, I ain't never looked at too many people throughout my life as a role model type. But they do have some people that have came and been a part of my life and still is, who I look at as a role model type because that's the way they presented themselves to me. And, you know, it was 2 people. Like somebody I just mentioned, Pop Pete. In my younger years, it was Pop Pete. Pop Pete, you know, he really like showed me love like he was my real brother. So I always, you know, looked at Pop Pete like a big brother, somebody I looked up to, you feel what I'm saying? But outside that, far as in life, it only been like one person, other person I really looked up to and was really like, you know, messing with head up because I see how he came to me, and that was Birdman.
So how speaking of Birdman, how did you and him come together, and did he show you like, by you being from the Melph, and he grew up around the Melph too though, but him repping the Noya and the 13 Wall, like did he welcome you with open arms?
I'm gonna say this. This how I first met Birdman. Me and you, matter of fact, was in HOD. We was talking between the cells when the devil was talking about, man, y'all squash that shit, y'all talk blind and squads, and he let me out the hole and let me come over there, and we chopped it up, and you told me go fuck with my people, man. My people, you know, won't fuck with you, gonna fuck with you right. So I ain't never forgot that when I got out. Even though I ain't pursue it, I ain't never forgot it. So I was around the detour one night, right? And Lack was around there. So I see the red Lex pull up with the drop, and I see a lot of ice everywhere. So I'm like, who the hell that is? And it's the time, it's fire. It's getting it on, you know? You got chopper bushes right here, you know?
Chopper bushes, huh?
So yeah, that boy pulled up, got out that thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm checking him out. I'm like, oh, he's strapped. Who the? So I'm asking, because I didn't really know who Birdman was. I ain't never had met him. Okay. I had heard about him, always heard about him. But when my partner was like, oh, that's Birdman off Valence being, no, I said, oh, that's him right there, yeah. I said, man, I need to holler at him, man, hold up. So I go walk over there, him and Lack over there chopping it up, right? So I go walk over there like, what's up, Lack? Lack like, oh, that's Cleve? Oh, look, come here, man. So Lack introduced us, right? When Lack introduced us, I told him that I had bumped heads with you in HOD. You told me to fuck with him. So he like, man, you know what? Check this out. I know you're a real one, homie. And I'm gonna show you love. Just fuck with me head up. You know what I'm saying? All love. No bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure everybody I fuck with you like that. I said, you know what? That's a bet. He said, you know what though? I'm gonna fuck with you now. Come on, let's go on the bar. I'm going by the bar. Come fuck with me tonight. I'm like, come on, let's go. So when we walked in the bar, I tell all the homies on the corner, like, y'all come on, man, come in the bar. Birdman about to buy the bar, so I'm telling all the females out there too. So we go in the bar. Bird go straight to the bar in the detour, like, man, look, give me the bar for the night, all drinks on me. So a nigga get on the mic and announce that, you feel what I'm saying? So the dudes out the Melph in there like, man, what's up, Cleve? What you got going on? You know what I'm saying? You fucking with dude like that? I'm like, yeah, man, dude fucking with me, I'm fucking with dude, you feel what I'm saying? Dude say, he ain't on that fly shit, man, dude on some real shit. Nigga like, man, you can't trust dude, man. I'm like, man, listen, I know what the fuck I'm doing, man. I got this, man.
That's right.
I got me.
Come on now.
So I'm like, man, look, I'm letting y'all know, man, I'm fucking with dude. Ain't on that sly shit, don't even try it. I ain't having it. So Birdman did this though, messed my head up, you heard me? So we in there kicking it. Birdman said, I'm gonna show you that shit over with, sick. That boy called Stone, Hot, G, Big G, hold up, OG Mike, Stepper, Jeff, the whole crew. Them boys pulling up in Harley Davises and the car, you're hitting the sidewalk. So everybody out there like, man, who the fuck that is pulling up like that? So them boys come out, I was like, look, I told all the homies, I'm like, look, that shit dead, bro. We ain't fucking with that, period. Them dudes coming around here, I'm fucking with them. That's what it is. We fucking with them. We trying to get some money shit.
That's right.
We trying to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never really was on that level far as with the money thing, and I'm being honest about it. I was a hustler. I used to get money. But the level he talking about, no, I ain't never been on that level. He talking about bringing me on there. Shit, it's a chance of a lifetime. At the same time, it's dangerous. Guess what? I'm playing that game. Let's roll.
He about to upgrade you, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
So go ahead.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
All right.
So you and I, we saw each other, I want to say 2 times, but the 3rd time, you was gunning back one night. I'm going to bring you up to speed of that. But one day you came to Magnolia. You, I want to say Keith Hunter, Face, I don't know who else was in the car with you guys, but y'all coming up the long driveway. And I know they got block parties in the Magnolia. So what was your intention? What was you doing in the Magnolia?
I was coming to the block party. I was coming to the block party. I heard it was out there. I said, man, what's up? I'm going back there. I'm going to the block party. I'm going to have my cutter. I'm going to have this, that. Let's hit it. Everybody ain't want to hit it, so the ones that hit it was living like that came.
That's that Melph, y'all. That's how we coming.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, because y'all circled the block party on Magnolia, Washington. Why, and I lived on Willow, so why did you guys come up Willow, come up the long driveway, deep like that?
You serious?
Yes, that's why I'm asking you.
Listen, we know what we into, so we definitely gonna peep our surroundings before we get out that car. We gonna make blocks, see you out here, all that. You know how it go. We ain't just gonna step out into nothing we don't know what it is.
Okay, it was another time, I came into Melph in the morning time, and you was standing back there by Clio, and you was like, who that is? Early in the morning, what were you doing up early in the morning?
Hold up, what happened? When this was?
Okay, I came in a Melph in a blue car. Me and the other person, he's deceased now. And you was like, who that is? You were looking, and I was like, boy, they on point this morning. And we just pulled off. You don't remember?
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
I think I remember what time you talking about. I don't know, because I went through so much shit in the morning. It's cloudy up there, man.
Okay. Now here's another time. One night, some guys come back there shooting, but you was already on point, ready like up the long driveway. It was over where that park at. You was letting the chopper loose, and I had just pulled up behind them. That's when you had and went through the cut. You don't remember that either.
No, how you know I did all that?
I was watching.
Yeah, you was in the middle watching me?
Yeah, I was watching.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I was watching.
Who house you was by?
Huh?
Huh?
You was in the long driveway.
I said, who house you was by?
Oh, don't worry about that. Listen.
Oh, okay.
So
You was by somebody's house.
You big facts.
Okay.
And with me and Diesel being, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, because Diesel called on you, and for those who don't know, Diesel is the one who's sitting next to him now, did 30 years in Angola. He asked you to do this interview. So I just want to let people know that you came on a string of respect for Diesel. However, you and I was trying to delete one another on the streets. So it's important to let these youngsters know that if we can put something to the side, then it should be a cakewalk for them.
That's right.
Don't worry about the peer pressure.
All right, I'm gonna speak on that as far as with the youths and the youngsters and setting examples and being role models and this and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I talk to a lot of the youths that's out there in the streets every day. Got relationships with them, right? Now, the world is faulting and putting all the blame of crime on the youth, right? All the numbers say the youths are committing everything, right? So this is my problem with everybody that's saying it's the youths. Everything that the youths are doing, they learned it from somewhere. It was taught it, right? From people like us, you, me, Diesel. You know, they seen all the shootouts. They seen the carjackings, and that's what they living now, right? But the older generation, I'm talking about the generation that was before me and you, right? We learned it from them, and the ones that was in the streets from them, right? We all went through a process, bro. But them that's out now, they didn't go through a process. They didn't go through none of the processes none of the other generations went through, bro. They like real, that's why they call them like crack babies, 2000 millennium babies, because they ain't going through none of the processes we went through of maturity, far as dealing with the streets and the maturity and when you could get off the porch and when you can't get off the porch. They didn't go through that process, so they just on some, it's whatever. And one thing we have to understand is that why they in that position, why they doing it. You know why? Because the education system at the bottom and the prison system at the top. Exactly. That's why they doing it.
Exactly.
Speaking of prison system, how much time would you say you done altogether?
About 21, 22 years.
Wow.
During your time in prison, your first time going to prison, did you have any problems?
Of course. Of course. Yes, plenty of them.
Can you give us something was like something that youngsters would have to look out for in prison?
Man, there's so much they gotta look out for in prison. Man, I'm gonna say this. My first time I went to prison, I was fortunate enough to be in a cell with a much older guy, right? Who was not in the streets, but knew the streets and had a lot of knowledge of the streets. You feel me? So he was like retired from the game, but he was like, he'd seen I was young and I was, I was fresh. I was fresh in the streets. I was a youngster in there on a murder charge, you heard me? So he like was giving me the game, like, look, youngster, this is what it is with them streets, you heard me? And I'm gonna tell you all facts. You feel me? And man, he was telling me some things, bro. Still never left me, bro.
Come on now.
Still never left me. About the streets, bro. About being in them and getting out of them. Because it was never meant for us to be in the streets. We didn't choose the streets really chose us. And I'm gonna say how the streets chose us. We was put in position. Everybody always say, oh man, all y'all had y'all churches. But what kind of churches do we have when we have no education, we ain't graduated from high school? What type of churches do we have? And they're gonna say, well, that's your problem that you ain't graduated from high school. I said, no, it wasn't. It was the government's problem. It was the school board's problem because we didn't have educated teachers who knew what they was teaching. We had people teaching from out the project, out the 17th. We teachers ain't know nothing, and they couldn't teach us nothing. So what y'all wanted us to learn? You know we wasn't learning nothing. So what you looking for to get out of our generation when we're not being taught and educated like the other people?
So while in prison, did you try to educate yourself?
I educated myself. Ain't nobody educate me. Nobody. I educated myself. I never had I didn't graduate from high school. I dropped out in 9th, 10th grade. So when I was going to prison, I wasn't the type that was a follower in prison. And anybody in prison around you that was in prison with me will tell you that. I ain't ready to go join nobody, click and go follow. Oh no, I'm on my own. That what the OG told me that day. That first day, he said, you on your own, know that. Throughout your entirety of your prison time, always know you on your own. You can't do that door by yourself. When you leave, you're gonna leave by yourself. So while you in here, you need to be by yourself.
When you had the fights, have you ever lost a fight in prison?
Yeah. Yeah, I lost a fight in prison.
Did you want to retaliate with a weapon?
I retaliated with a weapon. That's prison life. Ain't no losing in prison long as you fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no losing. And that was just me. I knew that. He taught me that night. As long as you fight, you ain't losing. I don't care if he knock you out. When you wake up, fight him again.
That's right.
And that's how I really lived the way he taught me in that cell that first night. I really lived like that throughout my prison time, but the last prison jokes. The last prison jokes I did totally different. That was the last 10 years from 2011, 2021. I did that jokes different. That was the first time I ever did my jokes the way I did it. And that was at DCI, District Correctional. I ain't do my jokes like I did my other 12-year jokes. I ain't doing nothing like that because when I went in there, now I'm more mature than I was when I went them other times. So I'm like, you know what? I need to get myself together for these whole 10 years. So the first thing I did when I got in there is when I got a trade. I got an auto body and mechanics. Got that trade. Soon as I got out, I got in auto body and paint. Got that trade. Soon as I got out, I got in carpentry. Got that trade. Soon as I got out, I got in college, Ashland College. When I finished that, I got in welding. I made sure when I get out, I was gonna be able to get me a job and put myself in a position where I don't have to sell drugs.
Come on, man.
I wanted no more parts of the drug game, especially once I found out that every drug in the street is connected to the people. I don't care who got it. Every one of them. The people know you got it. Ain't no hiding. You can hide it where you want. They got too many satellites, too much technology. Ain't nobody hustling, and the people don't know they hustling. If you hustling, you either hustling for the people or with the people. One of the two. I don't care. And I'm talking about everybody.
So while you was incarcerated, have anybody ever stole something out your locker?
No, I ain't never had that problem. I ain't never had nobody to steal from me. Nobody ain't really, bothered me like that, period. Because everybody in the prison, word to get out who you is, and you have dudes that'll try you. Don't get it twisted. You have dudes in there that'll try you. They don't care what they say about you. They gonna try you. And you just better be ready to stand on business when they do.
That's right.
Yeah, so I was that dude in prison that everybody messed with, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't have no picks and I didn't play no favoritism. I messed with what was real and that was it. If you is, you is who you is. I don't care who you is, just be who you is. Don't fake, don't be no pretender because I ain't with it.
No matter where you're from, huh?
No matter where you from. Shreveport, Monroe, Baton Rouge, Bastrop. I had partners everywhere. And they really was messing with me head up because I was messing with them head up.
Okay, let's get to the Cash Money. How was it like being on tour with Cash Money and around Lil Wayne? How was it?
Well, I ain't used to be around Wayne a lot because, you know, there was like a separate entity at the time I was around there because Wayne had his bus and his people, Birdman had his bus and his people, right? You had Slim had his bus and his people, right? So we used to go places together, but Wayne and them always did their thing. They ain't stick around Birdman and Slim all day. They just went and did their thing a lot. But they used to be around when he was around, you know. He was who he was, who he said he was. That's just who he was.
Being around Cash Money, did you have any ambitions to rap or to sign your own deal with them?
Nah, I wasn't around there for those reasons. And I ain't never wanted to even venture off into that. That wasn't even in my mind thinking, my mind frame, period. Rapper and all that, nah, I never been that, never wanted to be that. Ain't gonna be that.
Were you present in the studio when the Hot Boys were recording any of their major hits?
The Hot Boys? Nah, see, the Hot Boys were like broke up when I was down there. How we broke up? Let me tell you who was there. Baby was there. Fresh was there. Baby, Fresh, Turk, Slim. Baby, Fresh, Turk, Slim. Jeezy wasn't there. Oh, Wayne was there. Jeezy and Juvie wasn't there.
I saw you in Neck of the Woods.
Yeah.
Show me what we living like. How was that? What was going through your mind? Like you being a guy from the streets and now you're in a video and Wayne talking this gangster talk.
Man, like I said, look, I didn't even know they were shooting the video. You know what I'm saying? They calling me, dude called me. I wound up linking up, going over out there on the video shoot. And really, Wayne, you know, put all of it together because I was having a conversation with Birdman. I had just come home from prison, so I was having a conversation with Birdman on the bus. So I was like, man, I just trying to get my paper up by the squads. So Wayne like, you know what? I got something for you. So, you know, he gave me the little shot to go do the video for him because he was the one supposed to be running around through the video and all that. It wasn't supposed to be me. So he was like, man, you know, I'm high. I don't feel like fucking with that. Go ahead, sick. And, you know, and when he said that, you know, Birdman like followed that with, you know what, man, I don't feel like doing nothing either. Look, sick, just take everybody. You and high, y'all just go do y'all thing, man. Y'all just go choreograph the whole thing. It is what it is. So that's what we went and did. That's why we winded up where we was at. Valence, 13, Magnolia, Melph. And I really wanted to go in the Cali, but I really did because I messed with the Cali, but, you know, I was told that was like off limits at the time. You feel what I'm saying? As far as on the Cash Money side, you know, that was like, no, we ain't gonna do that. I was like, because I always been the one always trying to put in this ear, man, you gotta get that Melph Mac Cali, the whole really gangster connection together, man. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to see that Melph Mac Cali together as one.
So being around, hanging out with the Cash Money crew, I know there's like a bunch of groupies. So like y'all had y'all pics at night?
What, groupies?
Yeah, girls.
Yeah, well, yeah, we always had our picks because we used to have so many. We used to have so many, man. But let me tell you something. That groupie stuff play out so fast, right? Because it was a groupie that put me on a rape charge. You feel what I'm saying? They was really trying to get this bread out Birdman, bad, bad, bad. But the thing was this, they wanted to put a celebrity on the charge from Cash Money. You feel what I'm saying? And at the time, in 2001, we was out there in Atlanta at Patchwork Studio at Jazzy Face Studio. Jazzy Face was there that night. You feel what I'm saying? So they have this fad out there in Atlanta where the females out there putting rape charges on the dope boys. And the dope boys gotta pay all this money to get the charge off them. You feel what I'm saying? That's how they coming up. That's how they say they getting the bag. You feel what I'm saying?
That's how they coming?
So yeah, that's facts, man. I gotta pull it up.
I believe you.
How many people right now in Atlanta, Georgia on rape charges, bro? Going to prison and everything. Bad, bro. Bad. I'm talking about bad, bro. That's bad, bro. Because y'all allowed to do that and they know y'all doing it. And the court system really running with it. Even though they know they doing it, they still convicting dudes, sending dudes to prison, bro. And that's bad, bro. And nobody don't say nothing like, oh, y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Anything that we find bad for a woman to do, they don't want to talk about that. And there ain't nothing towards no woman. But it is what it is. If they doing that, they should be held responsible. And anybody backing them on that should be held responsible too. Because that's a crime. How y'all allowing them to do that to all these dudes, knowing these dudes ain't raping these girls? But they're putting forcible rape charges on these dudes, bro, trying to get a bag. That ain't the way you get no bag, man. You making dudes lose their life in prison, man. Talking about you trying to get a bag. The time one of them dudes people come take your life, they gonna say they was wrong and why he did it, that she took his life. She took his life. She killed him when he going to prison with a life sentence, man. For something he didn't do, she killed him, man. That man is dead, man, to the world. And his image is shattered forever.
Right.
Behind a false accusation, bro.
I know a lot of guys that ain't going.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was caught in the rift and I know. And this was so bad about mine. Right? When they took me to the police station that night, you heard me? You want me to tell you what happened?
Well,
Hold up. I gotta say this part.
No, I'm saying I wasn't gonna go there. You know that.
No, yeah, it's there already now. It's there, and it's on my mind and in my heart. I want people to know the truth.
Okay.
When we was at the police station that night, and you can pull up all the paperwork on Cleveland Alpha, because there's only one been arrested in Georgia, right? Pull up the paperwork from that arrest that night. And you know the first thing it reads, the first statement, when they asked her to make a statement, the first thing it says on there, first statement was, BG from Cash Money raped me.
Wow.
On the police statement. When the police was in the car reading the statement, they looked in the back of the car at me, and they looked at the statement again, they looking in the back of the car at me like, this ain't no fucking BG. What is she talking about? So they allowed her to recant her statement.
Wow.
Because she was trying to get a celebrity on the charge. She thought I was jizzle. Because I had my rag on, I had my hat on, I had all my Cash Money chains on, jewelry everywhere. She really took me for jizzle. And she was about to put me on that. She put me on that charge thinking I was BG. When she found out from the DA that I wasn't BG, now everything had to be reversed. Because look, tell me how possible is this? She said it was forcible rape committed that night, right? Why did I get convicted for attempt?
Attempt rape?
Attempt. How? How forcible can go to attempt? Because forcible saying penetration was hit.
Yeah, DNA, all that.
Attempt saying nothing wasn't dead.
You tried to.
And if nothing wasn't dead, why I was on that charge? And how I just get to be a lesser charge? If I didn't do it, I didn't do it. How does it get to be an attempt? Because you know why? In a justice system where they say it's supposed to be justice, if they can't get you on this charge, they break it down to this charge, even though this charge don't exist. When they really supposed to, once this charge don't exist, let you out.
That's right.
You supposed to be free. You don't supposed to find a charge to put a person on and then convict them of, because this charge never, and you go to the attempt, show me in the report where attempt was committed. Show me in the police report where attempt was committed. But I got convicted of it. See what I'm saying? That's what it is in prison, but people don't know that because they ain't in the courtroom.
Let me ask you this. Being as though you're from New Orleans and you was in Georgia prison, how was you treated?
Let me tell you something, when I first went in there, I stamped that I wasn't playing. And look, and I had a fight the second day I was there.
Yeah.
I had a fight. Me and this dude everybody was like scared of this dude. He was real big old muscle. He worked out every day. I'm talking about, he was like 265 all muscle, but he was short. He was like 5'5", 5'6", swole up. And he just on the tip, mouthing off at everybody. And I played chess. So he asked me, he said, bro, you play chess? I'm like, yeah. He said, you a player? I'm like, that's cool, we can play a game. So I sit there and play a game and beat the hell out of him. He said, come on, let's play again. I'm like, nah, I ain't into it like that. I just got on the dome. That boy said, man, play me, man. I said, man, I ain't playing you, bro. What you talking about? Man, I want you to play me and you gonna play me. I said, man, I wanna see if I'm gonna play you. I'm not playing. What's up? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna show you. You gonna show me what? Well, you're not gonna show me nothing. So he didn't do nothing. But the next day we were playing basketball. And that boy, I was going through the goal, that boy hit me with an elbow in my chest, took me on both of my feet. Boom. I got up, I ain't do nothing. Got up, come on, let's roll. I'm good, I'm hard body. You see when he got the ball? I did him even worse.
Come on now.
Elbow right on the side of his ear, right, try to take all his jaw off. Oh, boy, we gonna get it on. Shit, what you waiting on? Let's go. Got in the dome, I sent him out there really on the stretcher with a brace on his neck. I beat the shit out of him. All that muscle, boy, you going down, boy. I know how to fight. I was raised to fighting.
So you did time in Georgia State Prison?
Yeah, I did 3 years out there. I went to prison out there, man.
Did you have any problem while you was in prison?
Nope, not at all. Cause the way like I said, I don't carry myself when I was older then, so I carried myself like a man. And then everywhere I went, dudes took me in, like, cause they seen when I get there, I'm by myself. I ain't trying to click with nobody. I'm doing my own thing, whatever I'm doing. And when I went the first time went to prison in Georgia, I met with this guy, right? When I went to prison, I think I was at Coffee County. And I met this guy from, I think he originally from Atlanta, Georgia, Savannah somewhere, but his name was Big Bob. Yeah, mouth full of gold, you feel what I'm saying? And I think he was messing with Trick Daddy and all them dudes, you feel what I'm saying? So Big Bob was running the whole, like, compound.
What you do, Big Bob, huh?
He was running the whole compound, like, and he really took real liking to me because of the way I carried myself. When he called me in his room, gave me the game, gave me the hustle, and I ain't never looked back. And I salute Big Bob to this day. Big Bob is a real one, man. I'm talking about took care of the whole compound, bro. And they ain't had to do it.
So he from Atlanta, Big Bob?
Yeah, I think he's from Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia.
Okay, from Georgia.
Somewhere in Georgia, but not Atlanta. He's not from the city,
okay.
but he's from Georgia, but he said he was out there in Florida a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I salute Big Bob and shout out to him, man. Big Bob gave that life back, got out of there, he doing whatever he at, he there, but I salute Big Bob, man. Believe that, real double OG, man.
So you mentioned authorities wanted you to say you were employee of Cash Money to target Birdman. Looking back, do you feel this was corrupt?
Yeah, that was corrupt. They tried to make me say I was working for the man. They tried to really force me to say, look, we gonna let you out. Just say you work for me. They was gonna let me go. Cause they just wanted the money. They were like, we really gonna do the plea deal where we gonna let you out of here, man. I was like, what? Nah, no. Cause know why? I really meant that I would die in there before I seen that broad with that money, bro, because you ain't earning it. The way you getting it, no. You got me in here bad, doing all this bad time, you think I'm about to see you with a bag? Boy, I die in here before I see you with that bag. Believe that.
So do you perceive the authority tactics as dirty, or did you feel victimized?
I felt both. I felt they tactics was dirty and I was a victim because they knew I was innocent. They knew I was innocent. That's why I changed judges about 3 times. No judge ain't even want my case. Because of the high profile people that was involved. You gotta go against Birdman and Slim them over here. The judges ain't want my damn case. And the last judge that took it the first time I went in there with her, the only reason that our case got settled was because the judge was like, look, I'm gonna be lenient because the judge said this out of her mouth once I took the plea. The judge said, I don't believe you had enough to convict him. Because you need 3 elements to this crime, man. This was said after I done signed for it, though. Check the record. You think I'm lying and see what the judge said. Check the record. Anybody, pull it up, check the record and see what the judge said after, if they got it on record, what she said after I took the conviction and signed for it. Because they really didn't. But they was gonna keep holding me in there. That was the whole thing about taking the conviction and not taking the conviction, because I knew for a fact I went almost a year and a half without never touching the courtroom, bro. But you said you got me and I did it. Why I'm going so long without going to court? I ain't never touched inside the courtroom. They was giving me court days and set me back. I ain't never touching the courtroom. 6 months setback, 5 months. I'm like, what the hell going on? They ain't had nothing on me. Because look, they took a rape kit. It came back negative. What am I here for then? If the rape kit don't come back positive, why am I here? Oh, I'm in here off of her word just because she said I did it. I said, well, shit. Well, a lot of people, I see why so many dudes in jail. If you just going off of her word, no evidence, no nothing, damn, everybody gonna be locked up. It ain't enough for a broad on Mad Day to say, man, that nigga raped me on Mad Day. And they get that mad. Yeah, and they know you gonna go to jail, bro. Now your life on the line because rape carry life, bro. And that needs to be changed now. Yeah, that needs to be changed before anybody go to jail for that. If you ain't no concrete evidence, you shouldn't have that man in jail, period. Because you know what these women doing out here.
Were you used to such tactics from law enforcement, being you from New Orleans and there's known corruption there?
No, because that wasn't one of the tactics they used in New Orleans. That was the Atlanta thing going on. He wasn't doing that in New Orleans. Them bros, see, one thing about the females in New Orleans, they had a lot of respect for the gangsters. You didn't have that to me in Atlanta. You can't have that because if the female just sending y'all to jail, making y'all pay and y'all paying it to get out, and she just got the bag now all willy-nilly like nothing happened, something wrong with that picture, man.
This Terrance Gangsta Williams, a.k.a. OG Giggity, a.k.a. Mr. Answer Right Back, a.k.a. the People Champ, Terrance Williams.